Name's Nick Eanes, student teacher for Grand Canyon University. Student teaching at Highland Elementary in third grade under Mrs. Duncan as my mentor teacher. For this video, to talk about different ways in which my teaching philosophy has developed and grown throughout this student teaching experience. And I can tell you that when I first started, I wasn't as assertive as what I am now, and it's something that I still struggle with at times. But having kids of my own in fifth and third grade, sometimes those experiences at home raising kids slowly creep into the classroom. And I think my philosophy as far as a teacher has always been to try and connect with kids on their level, to bring myself to their level, to try to adapt my teaching style to how a student learns. And that's, I've always believed to be the most important thing, that it's the job of a teacher to get the most out of a student regardless of how he or she learns. It's my job as a teacher to make sure that that student gets the most out of their educational experience. I think technology is a great way to enhance learning. I don't think it should ever replace learning entirely. I know there's tons of technology used in the classroom today, especially at an elementary level in the third grade. We've used all sorts of different ways to enhance their learning. But again, I don't believe that it should ever replace it, but there's a lot of technology that's great that can enhance students' learning, especially during the shutdown, the last so many weeks. We've used the Zoom app to communicate. We've had the students turn stuff in through Google Classroom. Clever is an app they've used. There's all sorts of different reflex math, just those things that they've used just so that we can stay in contact with them, and just different technological resources that we can use for them to, for us to measure them when we can't be with them in the classroom. My Christian worldview, my faith, basically shapes my entire teaching philosophy and the way that I look at the classroom, the way that I view the students. Promoting specific ethics and values inside the classroom all stems from my faith and how I carry myself as a Christian man, husband, father, and that worldview. The Bible, the scriptures, the Word of God is the main influence in my life. I am a pastor, a preacher, and it's hard to separate. It's really hard to separate being a Christian from the classroom, even though it's hard to be a Christian in the public classroom today. It's almost impossible to separate my core beliefs from the secular school, the secular classroom today. I try to be an example when I can. I try to I try to look at those kids when I walk in the classroom, even as a student teacher. I know they're not my students, but those kids that I've been with for the last so many weeks, there are so many kids that I see that were in situations that I was in as a student. And I try to look at those students and try to be as big a blessing as I can, to try to help them in any way I can. If somebody has a question about something regarding faith, anything regarding the Bible, I try to answer it as best as I can. I don't want to lie to them. I don't want to try to be ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my faith in the public classroom, but I know you have to be careful about certain things. And I don't want to be negligent with things. I don't want to be arrogant. But at the same time, I want to be bold but not arrogant. I don't want to go looking for, I don't really want to use the word persecution here, because we haven't really faced persecution here in America in the way that some people face it in other parts of the world. But I don't want to go looking for a fight in a way. I always want to be ready to stand up for my faith and give an account as to why I believe what I believe. But I want to try to do the best that I can to try to help these kids learn in and out of the classroom. I want to try to help them grow in any way that they can in and out of the classroom. And if I can do that, that would be a huge blessing to me. And like I said, I'm hoping that when I have my own classroom, in whatever type of classroom setting that'll be, I know we live in uncertain times right now, and it's hard to tell what's going to happen to tomorrow. It seems like they're implementing some sort of new guidelines, some new rule every day. I just want to be prepared in my own heart and mind when I do get a classroom, that my faith, regardless of where I'm teaching, will be the backbone and foundation of my core values of how that classroom is run. And who can tell what God's going to do, but we know that He's still on the throne and He's still in control. So I pray that this video is a blessing to you, and I pray that you get something out of it as I've recorded it here tonight. God bless you.